Hello universe, I'm Dyspraxic Lemon. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to my video. You're here to watch me play through some of Zelda the Minish Cap and listen to some news type things that I'm going to tell you about. Now, any of you who watch my Pokemon series will have probably heard me say that I don't like doing stuff off screen when I should be showing it to you guys, but unfortunately earlier the video recorder crashed and it wouldn't let me record some of it, and so you've missed out a chunk that I'm about to tell you about before I do the news. Incidentally, that was an incredibly long sentence. Right, moving swiftly on. First thing you missed is me getting the Kinstone bag, which you can get literally by walking straight into Hyrule Town after getting the Earth element. That's pretty easy and it just teaches you how to use Kinstones. Once you're done with the Kinstone bag, go to the left of the bridge where there is a house with a bird on top. Go inside, talk to the guy in there, and he will teach you the spin attack. Once you've learnt the spin attack, go north in the village, then to the west to find the westbound exit. Talk to the guard in the way, where he will then ask you to show him the spin attack. Exit the village and you'll find yourself in the Trilbury Highlands. Once you're there, go south, find the ladder, and then in the cave at the bottom, go to the right where you can blow a hole in the wall. Defeat the business scrub where you will then buy a glass jar off of him. Be sure to buy it, this is essential for when you climb Mount Crenel. Then go back through the highlands, going north then east, where you'll find yourself at the base of Mount Crenel. Fill the jar, then water the blue seed, and then the plant will grow, and ta-da, you're all caught up with where we were at the start of this video. And finally, we get to move on to the news. Now, to get the boring and crappy stuff out of the way, the Ukraine, co-hosts of Euro 2012, have been knocked out of the tournament as well. This is after they lost 1-0 to England last night, which places England in the next rounds against Italy. Right, there, sport news, done. Now we get to move on to the lovely and geeky stuff. And it's real big time geeky stuff today because Microsoft are bringing out their own tablets. They're called the Surface, they have a 10.6 inch screen, and the same tablet will be coming out in two varieties, the RT and the Pro. The RT is going to be slightly lighter, thinner, have an ARM processor, and will most likely be cheaper. I don't think that will matter that much, since I think the Pro is going to be the big deal here. This is because even though the Pro is going to be slightly thicker and slightly heavier, although not by much, it does have an i5 processor in. Yes, you heard right, that is going to be a tablet PC with an i5 processor. So summarised, that means it's going to be super ultra mega awesome fast. Also, the Pro is going to be running the full version of Windows 8. Now, there was a lot of speculation when it came to Windows 8 about who was going to run it and how it would run on machines manufactured by other people. Now, Microsoft brought out their own tablet range. I have a feeling that the whole Windows 8 thing is going to go so much smoother than they originally planned. Microsoft have been saying since the beginning that Windows 8 was designed more for the tablet than it was a home computer or a laptop or something. It was designed specifically with tablets in mind. Both the tablets also come with a kickstand built into it and something that appears like an iPad smart cover. However, as you open the case, it has a keyboard and mousepad built into the case. Now, if you ask me, that is freaking genius. Both the tablets will have a USB slot and a microSD card slot, however the Pro will take advantage of USB 3. They'll both use flash storage, with the RT coming in 32 and 64GB varieties and the Pro coming in 64 and 128GB varieties. 128 being a size that Apple have not yet reached with the iPad. I can see how people will be quite sceptical about this, with the failure of the Zune as well as Microsoft being the punchline to a lot of tech-based jokes in the past few years. However, I'm quite excited about this, as I can see this succeeding for one reason. What Microsoft have done is not go straight in for the iPad killer, but actually have tried to innovate a new design. You hear the phrase iPad killer so much because people are trying to copy and create a better version of the iPad. What Microsoft have done here instead is actually innovated a new product in that they've effectively shrunk down a laptop to tablet size. This is different to what Apple have done, whereas they got an iPod Touch and stretched it till it was a 10.1 inch screen. So all I'm trying to say here is good luck to Microsoft, because what they've done is they've gone and created an entirely different product and gone against what the public are saying to see if they can test something new. If it works, I think we may have finally found our iPad killer, just not in the form that everyone was expecting. There are links to a whole bunch of websites which will give you a whole bunch of information about the Surface tablets in the description down below. Now, seeing as I've gone on about tech for long enough, I think we'll move on to another one of my favourite segments. And that segment is called What the Hell America. This is where I go and find either a crazy, a funny, or a damn right weird story that has come out of America. And today's story is that a 16-year-old boy survived being shot in the face by a spear. The boy was swimming out near his home while his friend was loading a spear gun for a fishing trip. Whilst loading the gun, his friend accidentally pulled the trigger that accidentally shot the boy in the face with a spear. Fortunately, the boy survived. The spear missed every single main blood vessel in his brain. The boy is also out of bed now and able to speak. But quote of the day, and if not quote of the week, and if not quote of the year, has to go to the medics who picked him up. They described his condition when he arrived at the hospital as the boy was awake and, I quote, agitated. I can't say as I blame him for being agitated. I'd be slightly agitated if there was a spear through my bloody face. In fact, you know what? I'd be slightly more than agitated, I think. I mean, you know, sort of speared giant wooden pole in front of your eye with the metal bit poking out the back of your head. I could imagine how he would be slightly angry. This is just a creepy story at times. You have to think, damn, that boy had a spear in his face. And it went straight through his head, and it's just sort of... He's lucky to be alive, and it's a weird story, and what's worse is the medics described him as agitated. Now sadly that is all the time we have left today. Thanks all you guys for liking, watching and subscribing. I leave you with this question though, are you looking forward to the idea of the Microsoft tablet? Please put your answers in the comment box below. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I've been Dyspraxic Lemon. Goodbye universe.